Let's apply what we know about arc lengths to go ahead and solve this problem. All right, first we're told that this segment YV is going to be 28 inches. And that's this segment right over here. Now notice because it is a chord that goes through this circle, but specifically it goes through the center of the circle, then it must be the diameter of it. So from this, we know that the diameter of this circle is going to be 28 inches. All right, now they're asking us to find the length of arc VYX, which is this arc length that starts at V, comes around and passes through Y, and then ends over here at X. All right, so next we have this arc length of 117 degrees, and we also have a central angle right over here. So we can go ahead and say that the central angle we know is also going to be 117 degrees. Similarly, we see this arc length of XW, and that's being opened up by this central angle right over here. If the arc length is 15 degrees, then we know that the central angle is also going to be 15 degrees. All right, looking at this as a semicircle, because we know this is a straight line for the diameter, then these two angles here must be a linear pair. So if we go ahead and take 180 and take away 117, we know this angle here is going to be 63 degrees just because they're going to be a linear pair. Next, if we go ahead and take a look at these two straight lines, these two chords, which are the diameters going through this circle, notice that you have these two straight lines that intersect and we create vertical angles. So these two angles here must be congruent. So this angle over here is going to be 63 degrees as well. Looks like we just have one central angle left that we don't know just yet, but we can figure this out pretty easily. So let's go ahead and take a look at this chord, which is a diameter as well. If this is diameter, then we have a semicircle. So then this is going to be adding up to 180 degrees for all three of these angles. We already know that 63 and 15 make 78. So 180 take away 78 means this final angle is going to be 102 degrees. That's the last central angle here. All right, so basically what do we have to do now? Well, we are looking for what the central angle is if you add up all these angles over here together. So if you go ahead and add up 117 with the 63 with the 102, you're going to find out that the central angle is going to be 282 degrees here. So let's go ahead and put the central angle here is going to be 282 degrees. This is right here going to be the central angle for the arc length we are looking for. Again, that's going to be the angle measure of adding up these three angle measures. All right, at this point, let's go ahead and see if we can set up a proportion to solve this equation and figure out what the length of this arc is going to be. I will go ahead and find out the circumference of the entire circle. So for the entire circle, the circumference is going to be 2 times pi times r. We do know that the radius of this circle is going to be 14 because the diameter is 28. So this is going to be 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by 14, or you could just say it's pi times diameter. So surprise, surprise, this comes out to being 28 pi. That's all the way around the circle for the circumference. Now, let's go ahead and set up our proportion. We do know that we have 282 degrees as our central angle out of the full circle of 360 degrees. And this ratio should be the same as the ratio that we have for our arc length over the entire circumference. So the entire circumference we know is 28 pi, so that's going to go on the bottom. So the arc length, let's go ahead and just call that, I don't know, I'll call this x for now to represent this. So I'm going to go ahead and put an x up here as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and just use cross products and multiply 360 by x and then 282 by this 28 pi. And so if we go ahead and multiply those cross products here, we're going to get 360x is going to be equal to 7,896 pi. And if we go ahead and divide both sides by 360, we should get that x is going to be roughly 68 point, let's go with 91 to the nearest hundredths place, and this is going to be inches. And so in summary, then the arc length of this major arc of VYX is going to be about the 68 and 91 hundredths inches long. This would be our answer.